Hello, hello, hello. How are you? Like, really, how are you? I want to know. If you are watching this, please make sure you leave a comment. It's not because I need comments or validation or anything. I just need to know it's working because you StreamYard and the shit goes out, and I need to make sure that it's working. So if you're watching on YouTube or if you're watching on any of the Facebook channels, please just leave a comment real quick. Just go, hey, I can hear it. I can see it. I might want to see the comments. That helps me out tremendously. So I know people are confused. Those who follow me, I normally only go live when I have a Kickstarter live. Well, as you know, Cthulhu ended 2 weeks ago. So that's done. But late pledges are up. If you guys want to go to CthulhuInvades.com, you can get some fairy tales and stuff. But we're gonna do a cool comic creator hangout. I'm gonna be a little somber tonight. For those who don't know, a good friend. Oh, thank you, Daniel. Daniel tested. Let me know that it's working. A good friend of mine, Carl Moline, died, and he was, if you don't know, did Avengers Arena, did Superboy, but his biggest thing was known for creating Frey with Josh Whedon. But he was my first pro friend. I've known him for about 20 years. I mean, it's been a long time. He's done covers for pretty much every book that I've done. So it's a little sad. It's kind of interesting that this happened. When I posted last week, not last week, yesterday, I posted literally yesterday on September 11th, I posted about legacy and what it's like to leave a legacy and what that looks like. And it's been interesting to see that today unfold as people have been sharing stuff. So that's what's going on with me. So if it's a little less energy, it's not you guys, it's me. So we'll try to figure that out. But yeah, so anybody watching, let me see if I got people. I think I got people on YouTube. YouTube, let's skip our YouTube people up here too. But anyways, all right, let's see who we've got here. I've got some people here. So why I'm here, the only reason why I would do this on a non-beneficial to myself night, let's be honest, is this right here, Grand State Punk, the best slab that's ever been made. Gonna be shipping to the backer very soon. Who backed that? My boy, my brother from Granite State Punk, Patrick is here. How are you, Patrick?
Hey, I'm doing well, Travis. Thanks for having me. Thanks for pulling out all the stops.
Pulling all the stops. Did you see the best $30 Fiverr video that can be made? It's the best.
I did. I was very impressed. Yeah, 5 stars for sure.
I spared no expense.
Absolutely.
I mean, at $30, like no,
right.
Like I didn't tip or anything. Like I screwed them over. But no, the best $30 I could get. I sent it back a couple times. Going, no, it's not $30 good. Yeah,
that's $28 at best.
Right, $28 at best. So we've got to get that. But,
I'm glad that somebody finally bought that slab too. That was
last day someone bought it. Well, they bought it, and then it was a failed pledge for a little bit, but they fixed it. So I was worried, but yeah, someone bought it. I'm really good. So that's gonna go out the door. I kind of wanted to send it out before now, but I didn't for whatever. I think I want to keep it, but I don't want to keep it at the same time. You know?
Yeah. That's how it goes.
You got to honor your commitment, but I kind of regretfully haven't done it yet. We
can always make another one.
I'm not sure if I want to do that again. I mean, it's kind of gross some of the things we did to that slab.
That poor book I went through some things.
All right, next up, we've got Breaking the Internet. Stokes is on my show again. It's been about 2.5 years, I think.
I don't even think it was two and a half. It's 2023.
All right, 2 years.
Time flies. Time flies making comics. For sure.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm tired. It's an exhausting craft. But thank you for having me, man. We're hanging in there.
Now I assume you're only here because I know you're a huge football fan because you don't have Amazon, right? Like
I have Amazon. Bro, it's I'm an Eagles fan. It's Bills. It's Bills. Right. I'll be okay. Work calls.
I don't think anybody should see the Dolphins play ever. So I mean, I feel you.
They were rough.
And me being a Pats fan, even when they were like a horrible team, they were still beating Tom Brady. It was so confusing. Like they're just so bad. Like Belichick was like, I don't know how to play them. Like I just don't.
They got some good players, man. I'm hoping they put together a fun team, but I'm not watching tonight, so
All right, let's see. We got Todd Kelly here. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. Thanks for having me.
I appreciate you put the best 70s wall behind you for me. I appreciate that. That's good. Some good wood.
Good
is
wood.
Is it real wood or is it the
No.
stuff?
No. This is straight up. And here's the best part. The people who did this, and I can't take credit. I wish I could, but the folks who did this before we bought the house, they did this intentionally. Like this was their decision. This is actually an add-on to the house. Like somebody was like, "Hey, you know what the house needs? This room."
Right.
I don't know. No.
We need the oldest walls that we could have.
Yeah.
I feel like you need one of those one of those old like metal frame heaters, like the solid ones that you need one of those in the corner.
I definitely think we need to make this room just as old as possible. And I really wish I could say like we use it for something great. Like it's pretty much just like a bunch of random storage stuff. And then whenever I tell my wife, I'm like, hey, I'm going to do a podcast. She's like, cool, go in the side room. I don't want to hear you. So.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. It needs a pool table that doesn't quite it's missing one ball at least.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like the short sticks, it's
right.
Yeah.
Right, because it can't fit in the wall.
Right, you can't because it's not. Right.
Have you considered mounting some sort of an animal head?
Definitely, yeah.
That would be good too.
So I think it's got to be an animal head, but like also like a mythical like animal head, like not a real animal, just like something.
Yeah, jackalope or something.
Yeah, you definitely got to buy one from those on the side of the road taxidermists. Those are the guys. Those are the guys who know how to do good wall art.
It's got to be official, man. If you're gonna put it in the 80s room, I mean, it's really got to be there. Like quality. It's got to be right up there. $30 well spent. You got to make sure it doesn't go to that.
I'm just proud that it's not covered up. Like no poster, no nothing. You're like, I want people to see this.
No, 100%. There's literally two things hanging in this room. And it's like art my kid made like 2 or 3 years ago that she won't let us take down.
And it's in the spare room, so you kind of feel guilty. Like if you take it down, like it's already in the room you don't use.
Right, yeah. It's like, okay. And I mean, look, it should tell you the quality of the art. I love my kid, but I mean, it is what it is. Tell you the quality of the art that we put it in the spare room. So.
Damn, calling out your kid. All right.
I love her. Is what it is.
All right, and we've got my good friend Sean Wood is back. How are you, Sean?
I'm great. Thanks for having me again.
Sean is the opposite of us. Sean wants to let us know that he can afford action figures, and not the cheap action figures, the most expensive action figures you can get. He's got the lot.
The most expensive looking ones, anyways.
Well, it's good. Don't have a Funko Pop, though. Stokes has some opinions about Funko Pops. He's not a fan. 0 out of 0. He hates them.
Can I tell that story?
Seconded.
No, but you insulted me several times on old podcasts, letting me know how you felt about my Funko Pops.
I thought it was a funny story, but I'm sorry, Travis.
I believe the quote was, "Motherfuckers trying to tell me how to live my life has a Funko Pop," I believe is one of the quotes. And
that sounds like me.
But I feel it's a valid feedback. Like I feel it's constructive.
What's funny is that like I was saying that Pop Funko dolls. Like what is those Warhammer? Like Warhammers, you can play, you build them and stuff.
Right.
It seems real practical. It seems cool. And I was like, Pop Funko. I just sit there in plastic. And Travis kneels over to pick something up, and he's got a waffle of Pop Funko dolls. So it's like, oh, I'm such an asshole.
No, you got to let him know.
The worst time in the world, bro.
If it makes you feel better, these I don't love them, but they're all music, and music is super like flippable. So like it's like free money. They just sit there, and I'm not invested in it in like my heart or anything. So like if I need some cash, like bam, eBay. All right. So pizza. You see, Peter, that's my best friend Patrick. That's best friend.
Oh.
Wow, that's a bold statement. So we've got some cool Kickstarters up. We've got some people who've been on for a while, some people who are just getting on. Various genres here, which is I think really cool. So let's start with we're going to start with the new guy. We'll start with Todd.
Boom.
Todd.
All right.
So your book is a hard sell, if I'm not mistaken. It's a kid's book, right?
Yeah, so we're doing did an all ages book.
right.
I actually came up with it, or I did it a couple years ago. I actually originally was talking to it was Andrea from Scout Comics. I met him at was up in Savannah. So I met him, and he was talking to me about Scoot, and kind of pitched me the idea of doing something all ages. And I think at the time my daughter was like maybe 2. And, started kind of coming up with the idea of trying to do something, and had this situation where, we're reading books to her and she wants to read one of Daddy's comics. Well, she can't read any of Daddy's comics because they are not for, 3-year-olds and above. So kind of went out and started my mission of like, okay, we're going to write us an all ages book. We're going to have some fun and we're just going to roll with it. And then, as I'm starting to work on that, what ended up happening was my dog Sheldon had passed away. And as part of my grieving process, I wrote, Sheldor the Defender, and I wrote the first issue of it. I did the first Kickstarter a little over a year ago. I did end up I did the Kickstarter, and then Scout ended up picking it up and putting it on the Scoot line. And then it's just been kind of in development purgatory for a little while. And then I had already done the second issue, and it was going to be a Halloween and Christmas issue. I missed the window last year because in September we brought home my youngest daughter, and that just basically like all of a sudden, boom, okay, a year's gone. And then so sure enough, I woke up around September and I'm like, wow, my kid's actually starting to sleep through the night a little bit. I'm starting to feel like a human. Let's go out there and let's do this thing. Let's launch this Kickstarter. Let's have some fun. I threw this one together a little hastily because I was doing an event at the beginning of September, and I was like, I'm going to go to this event and I'm going to be able to push the Kickstarter and I'm going to have a lot of fun, and kind of whipped it together thinking I'd be able to change a couple things after I did it, which I learned there's some things you can't change after it's live and you've got some backers. So learned a lesson there. And also, again, I thought I was going to have quite a few people that were going to be able to back it and go from there. And we got a few, but not quite as many as I wanted. So lessons learned. And, here we are trying to promote it and push it across the finish line.
Nice. All right. Yeah. Well, it's kudos to you. All ages is the hardest category, on Kickstarter. So, it's tough, but,
sure.
It's fun. You can do it. Is the book finished?
Yeah, so the book's finished. I just need to get it lettered, and so that was one of the reasons that I went ahead and did the Kickstarter. Was go ahead and get it lettered and get it printed, and then try to get it in the hands of anybody I could. Obviously I run with a whole bunch of parents now, so they're my target audience. Right. Just want to have some fun with it. So all we need to do is lettering. I got somebody already lined up, and once we hit our mark, we'll go ahead and get it lettered, and we'll get it in everybody's hands. That way they can read it by Halloween.
Nice, that's nice. Damn it. I'm sorry.
You're good.
Unrelated thing. A message I need to reply to. All right, so let's write you down. See what we can do. So Sheldon, I've shared it out.
Appreciate you.
On all the stuff. See if you're at 548 right now with 11 backers. Let's try to get you a backer tonight. Get you at least one. Get you to 568. See what we can do there. Get it shared out. You got 15 days to go. Is it still with Scoot? I know that everything's kind of up in the air at Scout. Things are a little cray.
It is still with Scoot at the moment. It's actually supposed to be in stores in November. It's currently in previews. Everything sounds like it's going in the right direction. We'll see what happens. It was originally the first book was originally supposed to come out in April, and it didn't happen. So that got pushed back. So we'll see what happens.
Okay.
Cautiously optimistic.
I think that's the best you can be in your current situation.
Right. What's wrong with it? Hey, man.
But we are also, Patrick and I are also, so you're in this month's previews?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
We are also in it, Patrick and I. So
nice.
So we're in it for Granite State Punk the Coven.
So it was cool. It was the first time getting to see myself in previews, and I was at an event at the beginning of the month, and I was at a comic book store, and the owners brought it up to me, and they're like, "Hey, take a look at this," and I was like, "Man, that's really freaking cool!" Like that was a cool moment. So
sweet, congratulations! Yeah,
thank you.
That's a big one. That's one of those big ones, those big exciting moments.
Oh, and it was fun because my 5-year-old was there with me, so she went to the event with me, so I got to kind of hand it to her, and I was just like, "All right, cool." Check that one off. Like mission accomplished. So.
Yeah, I started collecting them for a bit, like all the previews that I was in, and then they just are so big. You're like, nah, we're gonna only be able to do the first one. Like that's
it.
That's it. All right, next up, let's go to the big boy today. Stokes, you're killing it with this campaign. This is probably where is this at? Like on your account? Like I know you have some outside of it. Where is this? This is like one or two?
This is so far number 2 behind Tapper Die number 2 in terms of like overall gross. And then as far as backers, I think it's like 3, 4th, or 5th, but we got a lot of time. We got a whole lot of time. So I'm hoping, like I said, that we get that 300 break through that ceiling.
Nice. That's nice. All right. So tell us about it, man.
I can't follow that really wholesome story, like previously, like it's a little bit more, I don't know, cynical. No, I really had an idea of combining the idea of a, like I guess there's a metaphor of like cyberpunk. There's what is it called, Blade Runner, where it's like a detective story inside of a sci-fi setting. And I kind of like, what if it was just like somebody who literally wants to be like a detective, and then their partner, it's kind of like he hates machines, and his partner is a cyborg, and she idolizes kind of like I Love Lucy, like sitcom-y kind of thing. So it's kind of like the, like the buddy cop, what is it, the odd couple kind of vibe a little bit there. And my first sci-fi book as well, so got to play in a new genre, which is always nice.
Nice. Is it would you say it's more sci-fi or more noir? Just out of
I mean, it's hard. I really feel like it's 50-50, but obviously you want it to work on both sides, right? Like you want it to be a interesting sci-fi story and deliver on those themes, but you also want it to be a noir. And I'm really happy with how the book came out. I know there's certain persuade, like this can feel like an easy thing, like it's a layup, but we worked really hard. We worked so hard with the artists and the colorists. I think this is like the second time I've ever worked with a colorist separate from an inker. So that was a whole process. So we really curated the look of the book, and it was a lot of work. So shouts out to Jack Dunn and Maximo, who did the Jack did the inks, and then Maximo did the colors.
Sweet.
Yeah, I think the colors, the interior colors, really pop. I think it'll feel really good when you have it in your hands, right? Because you've got these kind of like classic noir covers, and I think when you open it up and you see the bright sci-fi like colors, I think it's gonna really like kind of change expectations. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and Steven, who is the letterer, said hello as well.
Oh, hey, Steven.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it looks good. You've got some good stuff, some great covers here. I love this cover right here. Yeah,
trying to capture that kind of femme fatale thing. I try to do whilst being in the you're doing sex appeal, but try to offer something, some variety, something that says something about the actual contents of the book. We got the Marilyn Monroe. I want to be very specific. Marilyn Monroe, homage, which speaks to the premise as well.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, well, let's get this shared out. Oh, looks like somebody jumped on right while we were doing this, right? Or am I tripping?
I think I had it too for.
All right, maybe I'm tripping. All right.
Sweet. Yeah, the sci-fi noir pairing is always so cool. I just watched the first season of the Snowpiercer series.
That's really good.
Yeah, I liked it. But it towards the end, like in the beginning, it's very like noir. Like there's a whole bit where one of the main characters was a cop, was a detective before like the fall, and so it's like him going through and solving this mystery on the train, and that part was really cool. I really liked the mystery angle to that. So that's I think it's a good pairing.
I feel like mystery in comics in general is like just really a great vehicle for me. Even Watchmen's like I guess one of the big ones. Yeah. I read Spencer and Locke recently, which was phenomenal. I'm a big Calvin and Hobbes fan, so that was great. And I like the Travis. Can you help me out? What's the military comic they parodied as well in the not parody, but like in the second one. You know what I'm talking about?
In the second
Spencer and Locke book.
Spencer and Locke, it was like Beetle Barely, like
Yeah. Love Sunday comics stuff. So that was
Sunday Comic Funnies, all that stuff. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, I love that book. Love Dead Pepos. He's on his honeymoon right now. Shout out to him, married, doing his honeymoon.
Hell yeah,
dude. The guy is I do his website. The guy is such a hard worker. He was updating his website like hours after the wedding. I'm like, dude, like this is not what you should be doing.
Priorities, man. Priorities.
The guy, I don't even know what he was updating. Like I looked, I was like, nothing changed. I don't know what's up. All right, we're gonna try to get you a backer. See what we can do tonight. Get you a backer on this. I think that's possible.
That's fun.
All right. I think the other thing I want to say about that book too is it's got a really it feels like a sequel to Westworld, right? Like it's got kind of a Westworld vibe to it, which I like.
Oh yeah. Westworld is great. It's just it's the sci-fi with the noir. It's peanut butter jelly.
Yeah. Good stuff. All right, Patrick. Let's see what you got. Let's see this. Let's see who you're cheating on me with. Apparently yourself.
It's myself, yeah. Does that count? I don't know. All right.
I got it. It depends. I think.
Okay, fair.
How often?
Sure. Sure. We don't need to hash that out on screen.
Right. No, not on there. So tell us what's up, man. What's going on?
So this is my very first Kickstarter that I'm nominally running, although I'm getting a bunch of support from a variety of folks, including Chris Jerome and Mike Tenner, which is excellent because I definitely wouldn't have had the confidence to go for it myself. But this character, so this is Maggie Thorne. So this is a character that I initially was writing as just sort of like a B plot for the Discordia books that I was doing with Chris. And so this Kickstarter is going to be for both a compilation of some of the previous stories that she appeared in, as well as a new continuation. So there is for sure brand new material in here. And yeah, so I don't know if any of you are familiar with the Discordia stuff, but it's kind of like an alternative, fantastic 1940s, 1950s world. There's monsters and aliens and all that kind of jazz, and fantasy Nazis and that kind of thing. So yeah, it's like a little bit pulpy, a little bit sci-fi, a little bit horror, and yeah. So this is in that same universe, and this is specifically my character, which I'm really excited about. She undergoes a horrific accident in the factory that she works in, and then she has to fight for survival against her monstrous factory boss in the first part, and in the second part, she and her crew have to rob a train, but in a Robin Hood kind of way. They're the good guys.
Nice. So the new content for a Discordia fan, like what is well, actually, let me back up. Sorry, that's not the question. The question I have, so did you write the original stuff, or is it the original stuff written by Chris? Okay.
Yeah. So it was a stretch goal for the first, I guess it was for issue 0, because we did an issue 0, which is sort of a compilation of short stories that just did some sort of world building, and we just kind of dipped our toes in because that was the first major Kickstarter project that either of us had done. And so this was a stretch goal because Chris is the writer and I'm the artist. But I was like, I don't know, I kind of want to write something, and I thought that I could handle doing a short story. And so we did it as a stretch goal for 0, and then we did a second part, a follow-up for issue 1, again as a stretch goal, and then another part in issue 3. And so this is now the conclusion. The new material is the conclusion of that story. So they're all kind of in like 5 to 7 page chunks, which was really fun for me, sort of stretching my legs as a writer, because I don't know, it's just a little bit easier to get into, a little bit more digestible chunks. It wasn't as overwhelming as trying to write a whole like four book series, or it was something with a larger overarching narrative.
I hear it. Well, I'm excited about it. I love seeing your work. I love the fro, and we're only 400 from funding, which is not bad.
Yeah, pretty good first couple of days. Really like it to keep cruising. I think that'll, we were talking about this a little bit, the logistics and stuff of
Yeah.
The business side of it before we got on air, but that'll cover like the production and the shipping and printing and stuff. But something I put a lot of work into, so I'd like it to do a little bit more than just the bare minimum. But we'll see. Fingers crossed.
Well, it's like I was saying off air, and I think I've heard in what some of Soak Spaces. I think it's mostly the writers who do a lot of promotion. I think when artists kind of step in this arena and kind of see how hard it is, I think it's helps everyone, right? So we understand everybody's role. Same thing, like I said off air, like I want to learn lettering. Not Jerome's my dude. I'm never going to hire anybody, but I'd love to be able to communicate with him better, right? Like,
Sure.
Oh, this is what I want. Can we adjust this layer? Blah blah blah. Whatever words I would need to say.
Yeah.
So
Can I ask real quick, because you have a real distinct art style, is your technique like drastically different than like a traditional style? Is there anything you do to get that kind of vibe?
So it's all traditional. Like all the pencils and inks are all on paper, which I think does lend itself,
cool.
like it pushes it in a direction. The color's digital. But yeah, I don't know. I do a lot of dry brushing. I like break the tip of the brush a lot and try to just get a lot of texture. Sometimes I'll use like rougher paper as well. It's like a lot of comics when people are drawing them traditionally is on like a real smooth Bristol. And I'll tend to try to get more of like a watercolor paper just so it has like a little bit more tooth. And so just, any of those strokes just are going to have more variation in them. So yeah, I think that's definitely part of it. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's a lot in the color too, which is kind of interesting because that's something I came to a little bit later. I initially was just doing line art, and then kind of like Travis was saying, it's like it's useful to know how to do the other parts. And it came up on a couple of projects where somebody was like, "I really need this to be colored," and we like talked about trying to find somebody, and I was like, all right, whatever. I'll just I don't really know how to do this, but I'll give it a try. But yeah, it turns out I really like doing it, and especially on like this kind of like horror sci-fi type stuff, it's like you can do really stylized color, which I think is fun. And I know that makes a little more sense to me inherently. I think I'd probably struggle to do different type of different material. But for this, I think it works okay. And I think it goes pretty well with the line art. So it's always nice. I hope it pushes it in a good direction.
Yeah, it's a really good looking book. A lot of these pages
Thanks.
are really striking. Absolutely.
Appreciate that. Cheers.
I love your stuff. That's why I hired you.
It checks out.
Checks out, right? And this is for people who Patrick is literally one of my favorite artists. Like that's why I hired him. Like when I could do Granite State Punk, he was the guy I wanted. It wasn't like, I chose him. I had money. I had a decent amount. I was like, Patrick, I need to work with you. How much can I? How much? And we made it happen. And we made
just because Travis knows I like the Violent Femmes and I wear torn skinny jeans. That's why he really hired me for that book.
Right. Well, and I wanted to see Discordia is so dark. I was like, can we brighten that up? Yeah, and you give me about 5 pages every issue, Bright, before you bring it back down to the darkness.
Well, there's always some scene, like a lot of the Granite State Punk stuff is so like tongue in cheek and silly, and then there's just some horrific murder or flashback to something terrible, and like, well, Travis, surely this one has to be dark.
What the graveyards, like what the whole bunch of bones,
graveyards, the witch materializing in the church, splash page, you name it, buddy.
That's weird. I'll talk to the writer on that. See what we can do.
Okay, yeah. Let him know.
All right, let's see what we could do here. All right, Sean, killing it on this campaign. This is new for you. This is normally you're going through. Did you not? You sent the link.
Yes.
So tell me what's going on with this campaign, man. Like, you're funded, you're overfunded, you're getting towards it. What's the highest backer goal you've ever got to?
So number 2, we got to 98. So I was really hoping for 100.
So we're going for the 100 here.
Yeah. So 100, 125 is what I really want for this one. But we were definitely past what we were last time. we hit right under 3,000 for the last one. So I'm excited. We're in stretch goals. I'd love to do the third one, but I'm just happy I can say that we've hit a stretch goal. But yeah, so it's issue 3, dystopian action mystery. It's a lot of 90s nostalgia, kind of over the top action. Got G.I. Joe meets X-Men and the apocalypse with a time warping fog. A couple other powers in there, but that's the main one. Travis actually saw one of the pages today that showcases that time warping ability, which is pretty awesome. We are pretty much done with the issue. He has one more page to ink, and we're almost caught up with colors. So by the time we finish, we'll be sending it out to letters for about a week, and then going to print. So I'm hoping October, November it'll be out. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun and a lot of action, a lot of emotion in this issue. Basically, in this issue, he's finally figured out his abilities. Something happens in the middle of the issue to make him upset, and he decides to go after this regime that is in place on his own without the team. And is that a good idea? We find out at the end if he can do it on his own or if he does need the team. And then the next issue would be issue 4, which hopefully will be about February, March, which will finish out the arc for this first storyline in the series.
Nice. I love it. And one of the things I want to share too, for people who don't know, because I talked to Sean. I don't want to ask for advice. I don't want to use the word mentor because I don't like that. And because of the next thing I'm going to say, he has a mentor, and that's Scott Snyder. And that is a bigger cut than me. But he works with Scott Snyder to get advice on how to make this better. So this book is not only, it's his first work, but he's sought some right advice to kind of grow and be the best comic it can be.
Very cool.
I know I don't know everything. I didn't know anything starting out actually, and that was a nightmare the first issue. But now we've got things rolling, and yeah, it's gotten a lot easier and a lot more fun. Not scared every day of what do I not know. So, yeah. And I would say too, the first stretch goal was the Hunter versus Damon Magnet, which is right at the top. That is actually, I'm trying to do like the stretch goals is basically the next issue's cover. So it's a partial cover for issue 4. And it turned out amazing. I think it was Bruno Lima was his name. He did all of it, the pencils, inks, and the colors. It came out fantastic. So I'm excited just to showcase that a little bit too.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, I want that to be a cover. Like, when I look at that, I'm like, that should be a cover. That shouldn't be a giveaway magnet. It should be a cover on this book.
It's a tease.
I see you're in the Hampton. I live in Chesapeake. Do you go to the cons local, like the Incredible conventions?
Yeah, so I'm doing my first real con is going to be in February, the Hampton con.
Oh yeah,
the Tidewater Comic Con stuff.
Yeah, one day show, like get in, get out. I love that show.
Yeah,
Nice. Yeah.
He was also at Baltimore last year. Are you going to Baltimore this year?
No, unfortunately, my first like so-called con trying to get in is a library con the same day. So I want to ease into the con scene, but I won't. I'll be there next year. Hopefully, I'll be tabling next year. I want to try to go to Heroes Con in Baltimore next year, but we'll see. I know those are kind of pricey too, and if I don't know what to make a con, it might be a good idea.
Yeah. No. All right. Cool.
Yep.
And you have a table, right, Stokes? Are you tabling at Baltimore?
Oh yeah. I'll be. I'm
table?
Put me on the spot. I'm only going to a con if I'm tabling. I don't know if that's good or bad, bro, but them shits are exhausting, man.
Same.
I think it's mostly good.
Yeah. K16. I might be going to New York Comic Con, which I absolutely did not get into. But that'd be more kind of social, kind of networking, hang out with the guys,
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to go to San Diego or New York Comic Con, I think that's a different. Those are different elements, right? Those
yeah.
Yeah. All right, so we've got all these done. I'm going to share these out on my personal, get that out, and then I'm going to go through them again, see where people is, see if we can get some money, see what we've done, see if we've done our work here. We don't have a lot of viewers tonight, but that's all right. That's all right. I know there's people out here who want to buy some books. So let's get the shares out here. Get some shares out here. So, what do you guys? What's your? Everyone's kind of doing their different things. What's the biggest hurdle you guys are struggling with right now, whether it be on Kickstarter or anything? Let's go through it. Let's start with go back to you, Todd. Let's start with you.
For me, again, I used to do a lot of cons. I would probably do 12 to 20 a year. I guess I don't know.
Jeez.
It's a lot about perspective, but I would, I focused more on, selling face to face, and I didn't do a lot of stuff online. I was really good at the face to face selling, but I didn't do a good job of capturing the audience to where I could follow up with them later. I really focused on, again, those right in hand sales and probably trying to kick the butt of everybody around me and just have fun. I just had a really good time doing it. But then, again, things happened and it got to the point where I couldn't get into as many shows and I didn't have access to that audience anymore. I couldn't follow up. I couldn't continue to sell with them. So now it's really shifting things up. I haven't really done many shows or much of anything in the last year, really focused on family. So now it's kind of just restarting and kind of getting back into it. I kind of joke around with my wife. I'm in phase 2 of this comic thing. So, doing this Kickstarter again, unfortunately, I kind of rushed it. And so now I'm playing catch up. I didn't do a lot of the prep that I did for the last one. And now I'm doing it kind of in the moment. And so whereas the last one I funded in 3 days and I was kind of the rest of it, trying to get more. Now I'm okay, cool. Let's go do this. So now I'm booking podcasts and I'm going and, tightening it up and trying to get all the backers I can and updating the tiers. And so I did it backwards. I kind of just hit launch and then went and figured it out afterwards. And so, I'm going to make this work and I'm going to win. But next time I'm going to do my prep and, I'm not going to be cocky and I'm just going to do it the right way. So. Right.
I think that's the secret, right?
Sure.
Figure that out.
That's what it is. It's a sophomore slump, right? You do well in the first one and get a little cocky, and then the second one go out there and didn't do the fundamentals properly, and then now next time it's okay, I gotta do that right next time.
Yeah, I mean the big stuff. I mean, kids' books are hard anyways, but
Sure.
you don't got a lot of ways to you've got a crazy big tier and
Sure.
a couple of small tiers instead of something in the middle.
Yeah.
A good $50 tier, with a couple of covers to really.
So, and that's the stuff I'm going to add. And I've reached out to a few others that, have all ages books as well. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of put together a couple bundles and I'll buy some of their books off of them and I'll add it in. But again, that was stuff I should have had lined up ahead of it. And, life just kind of got me behind. And it was basically okay, launch it and figure it out or miss your window. And it just became launch it and figure it out. So,
yeah. Well, especially if you got to get it to print for.
And that was it, man. It's with it being a holiday book, I didn't want to wait till next season. It was do it now, or I'm waiting until Halloween and Christmas next year, and I didn't want to do it. Now the plus side is, here's the deal: if I somehow tank this and don't fund it, I'm gonna go relaunch with my Christmas cover, and I'm gonna go that route. So we'll see what happens. But
Just keep relaunching it till you do it.
Exactly, it is what it is. So it'll be fun though. We'll be good. I'm confident in it. I'll do a couple more podcasts. I got another event that we'll do before it closes, and I got a few people that I know are going to back it too. I'm even going to do some readings with a couple schools, so we'll get it. I gotta get my target audience better. You know what I mean? So that's all.
Yeah, like you said, it's really hard when you're talking about Kickstarter and kids' books. The people who are buying the Kickstarters, aren't the people who are looking at Kickstarters aren't kids.
Right. I've got to get the audience to go to Kickstarter. So, I've got to get the parents and I got to focus on that. So, we'll get there though.
Yeah, no, it'll be all right. I think you'll fund. You still got enough time. You got 15 days and you're about halfway there. I think you got everything you need to do. Just got to do it.
Just got to do it.
Let's, next up, what do you need, Stokes? What do you need?
Man, I need a good night's sleep.
All right.
Sure. Yeah, for real.
That's one. I think a direction. What I'm really thinking about is like social media traction.
Yeah.
When I started, when I got on the Twitter 2022, and it was like easy, like it was so easy to talk to people and meet people and get traction. And now it's almost like it's like the same 10 people, so you're trying to make use of all this stuff. And it's tough, man. It's truthfully feels very feast or famine. And it's very unfortunate. Everybody kind of splitting off from. I feel like Twitter was kind of the hub, and everybody's kind of splitting off. A lot of bots. It's super unfortunate.
Agreed. I feel the same way. And like Instagram too. Like I used to do really well on Instagram, and I used to post a lot. And then after Facebook bought Instagram, that just like is gone. And now it's just like, and especially anymore, it's just like a knockoff TikTok, where it's all just like reels and stuff, which is like, I don't know, there's probably some potential there, but it's like a whole different skill set, like, I don't know, I'm not a video editor, I don't know how to do that. But yeah, I don't know if anybody knows good social media strategies, I'd love to hear them. I feel the same way.
I mean, essentially, isn't TikTok illegal soon? So like even that,
maybe I think only in certain
up.
states, I don't know.
I think the problem with social media, especially right now, like you're not going to get any traction because social media is built for engagement, and what is engagement right now is politics, and that's going to be for the rest of the year. I mean, you cannot, even if the algorithms were working, which are not like they used to, at this time of year, it wouldn't work. So that's why email lists, getting your stuff, getting out before all this stuff. Because I think any Kickstarters after this are gonna, I think September, October, and November are gonna be harder and harder because things are gonna get crazy. Biden worked yesterday. Like, I don't know what's happening. Like, the world is crazy.
Yeah, for real.
You almost feel bad making comics, and at times, like, you're like, oh man, I should go be putting out fires or something. You feel like a jerk, kind of promoting your stuff. But.
It's like a classic meme, right? It's like the 2-panel one. It's like the world just like some big city on fire, and then somebody just like, hey, you want to buy a comic book?
Well, the positive is for people, for you, Stokes, is you've been doing this a little bit. You've got all your press campaigns that you can, plug and update in. So if you are struggling, you have this whole backlog to tap into of previous backers, which helps you, but it doesn't help someone like Todd, who's on his third campaign, right? Like, doesn't do anything. No offense, Todd, it doesn't help you. Or Sean, who's also on his third campaign.
Everybody under the bus, huh? It's unfortunate, and my advice, genuinely my advice is like, yo, just get out there. Like, I know some people are like, oh, I'm going to wait until like 2025. It's like, bro, it's like,
let's do it.
Get your foot in the market and hold on for dear life, bro. Please, so
no, but
three's better than zero.
I think that's great advice. And I mean, realistically, again, like taking, my situation, we did one, last year, we started one and ended it just because it wasn't going to work. And then, here we are literally a year and a half later, launching number 2. And to give you an idea, getting back in Kickstarter, or even trying to pull the file for like all the people for the email addresses, it's already expired. Like, I have to go submit to like get them to give it back to me so I can get the contact info. So no, I mean, it's definitely something where, again, like they're having that, that backlog of people. And that's one of the reasons too, like doing the book now is just like, okay, cool. Like whatever, it's going to back, we'll get it. That's fine. And, if we end up with 30 backers, whatever, whenever we go to the next one, that's, that's our 30, and we'll keep building from there. So I think kind of having that foundation, again, it's just, but I think the fact that you have it, you earn that, you know what I mean? Like you earn that by putting in the work and get to where it is. So, I mean, I think that's freaking awesome.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I think that's one of the things that there's people who, until you do this, I think people think it's free money. They really just think like, oh, you just start on Kickstarter, it's free money. And it's not. It's not that at all. And the more money you make actually can hurt you, right? Because you get excited. Sure. You do a stretch goal and you fuck yourself because you did that stretch goal that you shouldn't have done. Yep. And then randomly, Comics Wellspring will go to a new company and go, everything's $1 more. Right. I don't do Comics Wellspring, but I know a whole bunch of creators who are like, I'm paying an extra $1 that I did last year. Sorry, bro. Like, and there's a lot of creators who don't buy extra copies. They don't do cons. They don't do anything. So they buy exactly what they need, and they're screwed now because they can't figure out these problems. So there's so many things that you've got to factor in when you're doing that, and all of it. Make sure it's all basically saying you ain't making money for a bit, bro.
Right.
Stay afloat.
Well, and I mean, I'd say I was one of the people who didn't understand Kickstarter. Like, it didn't make sense to me until I got into the industry and started like talking to people about it and understand like it's an e-commerce platform and you get to create an event, and that's it. You're not like asking for money. You are selling a product. And this is just your platform. And I personally didn't understand that until I got into the industry. And when I got into the industry, it was like light bulb went off and I was just like, oh, okay, no, this is really cool. Like, honestly, if you're not doing this, you're missing an opportunity. So,
all right. Patrick, what's your big deal? What's going on with you? What's your concern here?
I mean, same. I think just getting it out, doing marketing is my biggest concern, and because of some of the reasons that Stokes is that everybody's been mentioning. But like, I don't really know how to use social media particularly well, and I do feel like the things that used to work for me don't. And I think that's just because I think politics is fair point. This is just a tough year, maybe, or tough time of year. But just the algorithms are constantly changing, and that's a full-time job too. It's like figuring out how to navigate all of that. And especially on like this book, like I'm like wrote it and then also doing all of the art and then also trying to figure out that stuff is like that's a huge hurdle. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, this is my first one, so I'm just I'll be happy if I can at least make my time back on it, and at a baseline, if I don't know, the baseline, if some people buy it and then get to read it and like it, that would also be a success in its own way. Ideally, I won't take a haircut on it though.
It's tough because my friend, I talked earlier about my friend dying, Carl. He has probably consistently for the last 4 years been like, I need to stop working for other people, do what you're doing, do a Kickstarter, try to figure that stuff out. But it's always at what cost, especially if you're an artist, right? That's basically paying your page rate. Like I'm doing a show right now with Travis and Stokes and Todd and Sean. I could be doing a page. That page is probably more than I'm going to get for backers. But long term, like what happens, But
like you need the backers too. Like you need to finish the page, but you also need the backers, and then you need to. Yeah, it's just very multifaceted. Yes, there's several pages staring at me from my desk over there, which I'm trying to ignore.
No doubt. That's tough. Sean, this is book 3.
Yep.
And it's killing it. So you've learned everything you need to learn, right? You're fine.
I'm good. I've mastered everything.
Book 4 is
made thousands of dollars.
Yeah, you're going to be that's where you're at, right?
Yeah. No, I mean, it's definitely the audience too, but I am seeing the growth. So it is a slow upheaval battle, but I see the potential and see that it's continuing. The followers I had for issue 1 was like around 80 or so. And then number 2 is around 100. I'm over 150 for number 3. So at least I'm continually seeing more people, looking at it, and people are talking to me about it, asking me questions, mentioning things that I never would have talked to people about. So that's just cool in general. So as long as I'm seeing growth in some kind of way, I'm happy with it. But of course I want a bigger audience, but the more podcasts, that's been the biggest thing. I know I've been on your show a million times now. And I'm sorry, but
no, I like you as a person, so you're good.
Yeah,
that helps.
Yeah, but like this campaign was a lot easier to get on other podcasts as well, because now I've done it more. People have seen me more. I can send them a podcast I've already been on. So I think this is like my 15th or 16th for this campaign. Last time I had like 5 altogether.
Nice.
So I'm seeing growth in every facet that I'm doing. So that's all I can really ask for at the moment.
That's a harder thing, and you're lucky you're doing that. I was in the spaces with Stokes the other day, and we were talking about how a lot of people are not seeing growth on issue 2s. They're seeing it jump back up a little bit on 3, but they're not seeing it issue 2s. They're seeing a drop on issue 2s. So that's been rough, and trying to figure that out, trying to figure out how to do all that.
Travis, how do you feel like how do you feel like you managed to dodge that with the Cthulhu Invades? Because how many of those have you done? Like 4 now?
Yeah, we're in 4. How do you
And
do
do
it? A sheer number of IPs that I didn't create seem to make more money than the ones that I create.
Sure. But still,
Yeah,
there
sure.
doesn't seem to
I
be any
mixed it
sequel
together.
fatigue.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. Again, Oz is very different than Wonderland. They're not the same series. Neverland's very different. Fairy Tale's a little different. We'll see that when I do Fairy Tales Volume 2, because that's the next one. We'll see where that is. But Fairy Tales, Cthulhu Invades Fairy Tales was the second biggest campaign we've done.
Yeah.
I feel like you're being a little bit humble there, Travis. I mean, truthfully, you it seems for me that you stepped up the scope. You know what I'm saying? Like you got you hop from but it's one IP to another one that maybe has like more broad appeal as well. Like there's things you did, and I think that's the key is when you have that first campaign, you get your friends and you get your family, etc. And I think this is true in life, right? Like anybody will try something. Like there's a low barrier of entry to me to pay like $5 or $20 for a physical or what have you. And one, I could just want it. I can just want it in my house. I can always go back and get more. Or I can be a collector or what have you. But think about how many TV shows you started and ultimately didn't finish. Like that's also a factor. So you have to do the XYZ to make sure. It's almost like when you're doing the first one that succeeds, you need to be like, okay, how can I maintain? Like, how can I do better? Like, what can I do to elevate the product and whatever that looks like?
Yeah, and I would have done it differently. If I would have been smart, I would have done Neverland first, Oz second, Wonderland third, because Wonderland just has a killer audience. I mean, look at anybody who does anything Wonderland. Wonderland is just the biggest thing. And then I should have known that. You go to any con, like the girls are dressed up as Alice, normally crazy versions of Alice, but they're dressed up as. And then there's a weird guy as Cat in the Hat. Like you see a lot of Wonderland. You don't see a lot of Peter Pan dressed around, right? You'll see a Dorothy and Toto, but like it kind of shows you where that stuff is and trying to market that. But I appreciate you saying that, Stokes, and I don't dismiss it. But I just did a post, a whole blog about this. It's kind of sad at the same time, and it's not just us. It's not just indie circuits. Like I'm giving people what they want. Like look at the top 20 comics. It's the same. Spider-Man's still fighting Doc Ock. Batman's still fighting Joker. Like those are the top 20. And the outliers are like, look, Turtles made the top. It's the same thing. Oh, look, G.I. Joe made it. It's the same thing. It's just nostalgic for something else. Like it's really not. We want to play karaoke. Like the comic, like the fans of comics who go into comic stores want karaoke. They don't want new inventive storytelling. Now and then a saga will come through or a Walking Dead that will kind of shake things up. But for the most part, we want karaoke. And I'm very guilty. I buy a lot of karaoke.
It's a good time.
Gotta break them out of that. You got to give them something that they can't, deny, that they want something new.
The preferred indie launch method about using Whatnot to help build an audience. Oh, that's a good point. So Whatnot's really great. The problem is Whatnot is 100% in my opinion, a flippers market. It's for collectors market. So though you may be able to sell a variant or two on there, if your stuff is not flippable to the next guy, it dies pretty fast. I've done really well on Whatnot when I go on certain shows, but it's really just because I went on that guy's show, and that guy's basically speaking for me. It's like being part of I don't know. It's like you having a Marvel logo or something, right? You're not a better writer or anything. It's just that logo means that somebody thinks you're better, So, Brett, you're a little late, but how are you? You're a lot late, actually. This is not 15 minutes.
Yeah, the what I thought was going to be 15 minutes turned into 40 minutes. So,
You go ahead and send the link, and we'll show it. We are wrapping up though. We're going to go over everybody's campaign real quick, but we can check yours out very quick. In fact, Todd would be a good partner for you because I know you both have kids books. I don't know what's going on with kids books tonight. Stokes is a kids book too. I know it doesn't look like it, and I know those behind those lines. They're puppies. They're beautiful puppies.
Puppies, yeah.
There's Stokes, me.
That's what they called them in the Attitude Era for WWE.
Right, in the
right?
wrestling era.
Yeah.
You talking about Javon? Javon got a kids book. He got a kids book.
All right, Detective Potato is back.
Yep,
That's awesome.
that's correct.
What is going on? Tell us what's going on.
So, Detective Potatoes is my all ages mystery noir book that follows my pigeon detective dealing with the Dust Bunny Mafia and other crime families. So, it's a sequel, but it's also a standalone book. In the first book, all the caffeinated coffee in the city disappears, and the detective works with the mob, makes a deal with the mob to get it back. And then this one is a direct, it picks up right where the last one left off, where all of a sudden Leo, the Dust Bunny Mafia mob boss, gets out of prison and basically is threatened. His consigliere is kidnapped and basically says, return this giant espresso bean to us or this guy dies. And it's a race against the clock.
All right. Well, let's get that shared out. As you know, kid books are really, really hard, but we'll share it out and see what we can do here. A question for you, and I apologize if I'm wrong, but didn't this have did this have like a bookstore market like release as well, or am I silly? Like I thought your partner like is in the book market.
He is in the book market. He has publishing deals,
Okay.
and he has pitched this to a couple publishers, and they haven't gotten picked up, but they haven't got rejected either. They
Okay.
are sitting on people's desks, and he said that's a good sign. And so for now, we're just kind of going to keep rolling with it, and try and fund it the indie route. And if it gets picked up mid-series, all the better. But it is, we have it published through Ingram Spark. And
Okay.
so it is found, you can get it at Barnes & Noble, Amazon, and all of those, anyone who uses that kind of publishing platform. So they can buy it in bulk and everything too. And we also have an audiobook and an ebook.
Cool.
So,
did you find it easy to work with Ingram Spark?
oh yeah, I did Kindle Direct and whatever was before for Amazon
Okay. Yeah.
that they bought out. I can't remember right now. CreateSpace, and so Ingram Spark is actually easier and better. That I've been able to work with them. But yeah, it was literally like give them the PDF, and then for the cover, it asks what you want, and like what kind of file type you need. And then you say how many pages, it gives you an exact calculation. Here's your file in whatever type you need. Put it in, upload it, you're good to go.
Cool. Yeah. Okay. Sweet. It's interesting. I hadn't really considered that, but probably should.
And yeah, once I set it up on there, it automatically, once I hit publish, it put it into like Barnes & Noble. I was able to find within like a day. It was listed
Awesome.
on their site. So
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah, no. That's cool. That's cool. But yeah, so we got kids books galore, which is crazy. And it's an actual novel too, more but it does have some comic pages, right?
yeah, so it's spread. So there's like, this is what the first book looks like. So there's panels interspersed in.
Okay.
So, yep. And it's all in that same black and white noir style. Old gritty detective drama.
Sweet.
So it's actually been one of my best. It's been my bestseller at shows last year and this year that has surpassed all of my regular comics, which makes me a little bit sad that my co-working book does, but whatever.
Right. Let me I do want to since I got everybody here, I do want to do one thing real quick before we go over everybody's list. I am going to show Cthulhu. You can still get it from Late Pledges. By the way, Late Pledges is the greatest thing. You've never done Late Pledges. It's so good. I don't think they'll work for everything, but they work really well for me here. So highly recommend.
I've been noticing ever since Late Pledges, like I'll enter an amount to, for an add-on or what have you, and I'll go and the amount has changed. Have y'all experienced that, or is that just me?
What do you mean?
Like I'll put in $18, click out of it, right? Save it, and it'll say 16. Like, am I just cooked? All right. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
No, it's been really well for me. I got about 1,000 since the campaign's end, which is pretty good. I mean, obviously this is a bigger campaign. Pat's dropping some knowledge. If you scroll before clicking off the add-ons, when you scroll it, it will decrease the number. What? If you scroll before clicking off the add-on, when you scroll it, it'll decrease the number.
Yo, he's been watching. He's been listening in, bro.
It's scrolling through the money rather than the page itself.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
Interesting.
Okay. See. All right, there we go. And I'm doing like. I know you have this, Travis. Is like when you're doing the add-on section in Pat as well. The add-on section is disastrous. Like add the same book, you'll end up adding the same book a million different times. You go, I just made it a campaign. I just did this like last week. It's crazy. It's terrible.
Yeah, well, and then I had the worst luck with Cthulhu. I think we'd actually be way higher. So cover A wasn't working for random people. No idea why. Just wasn't working for random people. Some people could back, some people couldn't. They're like, I remember Charlie Signey said, "Hey, is it out of stock? Cover A is out of stock." I was like, "No," but it had like 8 pledges on it. So like, I'm like, "What the hell is happening?" So there was all these random things that was happening. Then the only thing I hate about late pledges is I have to wait another week after the campaign to get that late pledge money. Come on, bro. This is my grace period. You've collected the money right here. You're all right. Like,
you know what's crazy? I had somebody so I do my digital deluxe right one time, and it's like 18 people, and somebody had backed my newest campaign and went back, and he backed both, which is crazy. And they were like, "Hey, I didn't get my digital deluxe." And I'm like, "Yo, like, what do you mean?" Like, I'm like, "I don't know how this happened." It turned out he did a late pledge. And then 5 minutes later, like, like, yeah, I never got my book, bro. Where's my book at?
Well, and then talking to backers are really hard. I've found messaging them about late pledges. They're like, "Oh, your fail pledge. You can then now do the late pledge." You're like, "All right, just charge my card." I can't do that.
Yeah, that's not how it works. Yeah.
You can't. They're just like, "No, just charge it. It's fine." No, you understand. It should be that way. It's just not. It's just not.
I feel like every new feature, the like functionality drops just a little bit. Like late pledge drops by 1%. And then it's like 90% functional, but I can do late pledges. Like the survey system is a little crazy too, but I mean it's better than it was for sure. I love the images, late pledges, all that stuff.
Yeah, no, but it's getting there. It's good. I think, and I think that some of the crowdfunding features that some of these other platforms are doing, once Kickstarter figures it out, like I think it's going to be really, really cool. Like there's a feature on Indiegogo, not that anybody uses that anymore, where your pre-launch, if you sign up, you can get like a discount code for like 10%. Like that would be so fun, because the biggest problem is converting those pre-launch to backers. But if you gave them a money percentage,
sure,
like that shit's going to convert all day. Like, and I'll take 10%. to make sure that they back like day one.
Yeah.
Hell's yeah.
Yeah, or
They'll
they could
do it
do
too.
the
What was that?
They'll add it.
if they could the I think it's Backer Kit has secret pledges,
Yeah.
like secret rewards and stuff like that. If Kickstarter could add some of those where it's like you just target certain people or groups and
No, I
be
would
like,
love
this is available for you. And
How many of you guys like hand deliver like a handful of books? And like I hate that my friends have to pay shipping. Like I mean I
Right.
like the money, but I also don't want to pay shipping. Like I'd love to just have a secret pledge. Yo, you guys are gonna back all my shit. You live where I'm
Right.
at. Let's mark off that $5 for shipping. I got your back. All right. What we're gonna do is we're gonna look at everybody's stuff. I make you no promise, Brett. You're too late. But I
Yeah,
shared
I
your
know.
stuff out. We'll see what happens. Oh, did I share your stuff out? I did.
yep.
But not at the spot. Hold on. There's one more place I'm gonna share it.
Yeah, I knew. I figured I'd at least jump on. So
Yeah. We've got that, and then we're after done. We're going to talk a little bit about Indie-tober, just because I haven't talked about it a little bit. Talk about what that is. We've got a couple people here who are in it, so that's pretty fire. All right, Sheldor, I promised we'd get you one backer. You're at 11. It's a kid's book. I can only promise you one backer. Let's see what we got you, Todd. Did we get you something? Let's see.
Yeah, they were up at 12.
Hell
So I think we bumped up.
Let's see. Oh yeah, I was looking. I was stealthing around. Hold on.
Yeah.
That is not the one that's live. Hold on.
No, that was the first one.
Yeah, I was seeing if I could help you. Sometimes when somebody's live, I go see if they have an old campaign because they failed to update. You did not. You did update. But all right, so you're at 12. But go ahead and tell us about it one more time to see if we can get you one more backer here.
All right, so this is Sheldor the Defender. It follows a group of warrior dogs as they do what dogs do, and they try to protect their homes and protect their people from things that they feel like are menaces. So, whether that's the UPS guy or, another dog down the street or whatever your dog's trying to protect you from, this is just a story that kind of follows them in their antics. This is the Holiday Spectacular, so it follows Sheldor and Pond as they have their first Halloween or Pawn's first Halloween and Pawn's first Christmas. So in the Halloween episode, we actually introduced Sheldor's first nemesis. It's going to be called the Shedder, which is going to be a play on Shredder, and have a lot of fun with that. And then at Christmas, we are going to, Sheldor is going to be in search of Santa so that he can, make sure that his person gets the right presents. So it's just a fun Halloween and Christmas issue. We do joke around about skipping Thanksgiving in between. And it's just a good, fun book to read to your kids that, hopefully your kids want to read plenty of times. And as parents, you will actually enjoy reading it over and over as well.
Nice. So what are you going to do when your kid wakes up later in life and finds out who the Shredder is and feels that his dad finally wrote him a comic and he was a hack? How you feel about that?
You know what? If she hasn't figured that out already, it's just gonna be what it's gonna be. I don't hide it. So.
Teach your parody law right now.
Exactly. Well, so there's the fun part. My wife's an attorney, so we just we let her do all that.
That's nice. That's good. That's good.
Yeah, it's helpful with contracts.
Oh, so you can afford to make comics. Look at that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I got, as we do on here, I'm going to mark you off my list. Got you a backer. Do that. Let's see. We had Stokes. He was at 7,323 with 240 backers. I promised him one backer at 7,347. Let's see if we produced anything this evening. I used to have my boy Daniel, who was here, who would back huge. That's Sheldor again. Hold on. I'm excited about this dog book, apparently.
Yeah, man.
Makes sense. Yeah.
I literally have 4 tabs of it open. What the fuck? And none of Stokes. Hold on.
It happens, bro. It really happens.
I got to shut some of these. What the hell's going on here? Oh, I'm cheating a little bit. Looks like you got a couple. I know one was me.
Appreciate it, man. Really,
I think that counts. I think that
It
should
does
count.
count. It does count. It does count. He
100%.
got two, so like the one being me is all right because
I ain't complaining. Trust me.
Hell yeah.
And I backed this up like people who were in the know. I backed it on the physical level. I'm gonna get this physical book. So, like, let's see what's up. If I can back it, anybody,
cool.
can, right? Anybody who knows or anybody who's in the know, if I can back it, anybody can back this shit.
You're the man, Travis.
But we've got it. We've got taken care of. I do have a question for you. Maybe this is an on-air question, but I'm going to ask anyways.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Are we going to have are you going to continue with this series? Because I know it didn't perform well. What's the plan?
Yeah, no. So it's always I actually do plan on continuing it as well. Everything's kind of it's really nice working in doing all this different stuff. I kind of want to head in a kind of a specific direction, get some brand equity.
Right.
So it'd be about finding a time to release it, like what would it look like? It's so different from what I'm releasing now. It's fun to kill people and then this tap or die even. So we have to figure out when, but
and your next launch is even something new. It's another new property, right?
Yeah. No, I wanted to do I think 4 new IPs this year, and if you count American Yakuza, cheating a little bit, ended up
cheating.
Definitely got my name on it. So
well, and if I understand, like he didn't give you like a concept, right? Did he?
He gave us for those American Yakuza by me, Charlie McKelvey, Chris Moses. He gave us like kind of very broad directions to go, and me and Chris were like, "Yo, let's go here." And then we just hit the ground running, banged out the script. Charlie had to be happy with how everything. I mean, we busted out that script so damn fast, and I think the book came out really good. But yeah, that's 4 new IPs, and I'm so exhausted. I feel every single one.
That's awesome.
I'm beat. I'm dead. Thank you. Yeah, I'm tired.
Yeah, congrats.
I gotta say too, American Yakuza is definitely one of my favorite books this year. So it's been awesome to read. Charlie's awesome too. I love Charlie. He's around here too, so I've talked to him a lot.
Oh yeah. No, I love. Thank you so much. Yeah, no, I love Charlie, and no, I'm excited. So excited for that book. It's gonna go.
No. I count that. I know like the book that I'm working with. Oh, look, we got another feedback. American Yakuza was good. See, you're getting the feedback.
Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah.
I know for me, he was just like, I want these 2 characters to fight. Write a story. That's what Charlie gave to me. These guys that hate each other, they fight. Here's the background. You can ignore it. You can do it, whatever you want. I was like, all right, they're going to fight.
Very laissez-faire, right?
Very laissez-faire.
That's from high school.
But it's still good. I like it. All right. The only reason why we're here, Patrick, your Maggie book is live. Let's see what's going on with Maggie. Has Maggie. You
really got the dogs on the brain here, Travis.
Dogs on the brain. Look, you got 42 bagger. Look at you. You're growing up here. It looks like Stokes. I see a little Stokes face.
Oh, thank you, sir. Much appreciated.
Threw you some money. It's good. So I'm excited about it. I love the fro. And my wife loves the fro. So
it's Heather approved. Yeah.
Heather approved. So we got everything. We got foes and guns. I'm excited. So, but yeah, you are off my list. Go ahead and pitch it again. I'm going to share all these campaigns out, by the way.
Cool. Yeah, Maggie Thorne is. I'm normally just an artist, just a humble artist, and this is my first foray into doing some writing. This was initially a spin-off character from my series with Chris Jerome called Discordia, which is like a sci-fi noir set in like an alternative 1940s, 1950s. And so this is the character that I got to write for that book, which we are now publishing. I'm publishing as in her own first standalone debut, which I'm really excited for. She's got a robot arm. She fights monsters. She's got a crew. She robs trains. It's pretty cool.
Nice. All right. So that's been shared. Jerome, I saw your message, and yes, the hatchet is buried. And hold on, I'm gonna go back to Stokes because he didn't get to pitch his thing. I've been sharing it out, but
I don't have a pitch yet, bro. Just keep it going.
like what the book. I mean, the book has a title. My girlfriend is a cyborg assassin. I mean, what else you need to know?
Yeah, buddy cop movie. Oh shit! Oh my god, a buddy cop comedy or comic with a technophobe and a cyborg. I guess that's the. There's more, but I can't.
And is there spicy content inside too?
A little bit, yeah, a little bit, kind of like a lot of physical comedy as well. You know, kind of like that. I Love Lucy. I don't know, bro. Me and my dad one afternoon we watched I Dream of Jeannie. Oh man, that's the vibe I want, bro. That's what I need, though.
That's where I live. I live where I Dream of Jeannie's from, like the Cocoa area.
Really? Oh, I didn't know that.
I did. That's where I live. It's so Cocoa is the worst. It is a horrible, horrible thing. But Cocoa Beach is really nice. But people get confused when they visit because they'll go to Cocoa instead of Cocoa Beach. Cocoa Beach is really nice. It's just a strip. It's like any strip, like anywhere. Like strips are nice. Like if you go one strip where tourists are, it's nice. But you go to Cocoa proper, and it is ghetto, and you're gonna die. So you gotta move fast.
And here I thought you lived in Margaritaville, Travis. I had that on good authority.
All right, I apologize again. Here's the thing. Patrick came to visit me. We did a MegaCon. My friend owned a home that he was supposed to be in the Margaritaville area, like home. And if you get one of these like Airbnbs at these margarita homes, they literally drop you off margaritas in the morning. Instead, we got a house that was half built, that the pool didn't work, but Pat skimmed it every day and tried to see, is it worth getting gonorrhea from the pool? He decided he didn't want gonorrhea.
In the end, it wasn't. Yeah, but.
Which is weird. Thinking about all the things you did to this book.
That seems a little bit slanderous. I think not nearly as much as anyone else did.
So, but yeah, so that is what's going on. But you've got your pledges. Both of you guys got your pledges. I marked you both off. Now we got the Fog Within. Third time, Sean. Did I pull someone out of the woodworks? Did I find someone in the deep pockles? All right, you got one.
Yep.
And that's all I promise.
Appreciate it.
See?
Yep.
That is 100% today because I can't count Brett. He showed up too late. But we did share Brett's stuff out. And I think Brett and Todd should talk because they both have kids stuff. Maybe there's a crossover.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
So, all right, let me share this out. You want to pitch it real quick?
Sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
share it.
So I didn't say it this time, but in the present, there's a cataclysmic event. Hunter, a couple days later, is running, ends up in some fog, and all of a sudden ends up 26 years in the future. It is action nonstop. The first 7 pages, he doesn't know how he got there, what's going on, and he finds these rebels. There's a rebels alliance. There's a regime in place that doesn't take care of the citizens. They're in rebellion, of course. And then the first issue is world building. And then the second issue, I've been saying, is an action packed surprise, I guess. And then the third issue is definitely the emotion filled issue. So each one has its own little theme to it. And there's also, like we talked about last time, there's a guy named Gary
Gary,
that people are talking a little bit about, and hopefully I'll have a homage to Spider-Man 300 and the next one from someone else on another podcast that was hearing about Gary. It's just random screaming dude that my son's obsessed with, and now he has a little mini arc in all the draw-in pages. He's slowly changing. He was a guy in a burlap sack. Second issue, he was being kidnapped and he was saved by the rebels. And then this third issue, now he's putting on the rebel suit. And the fourth one, he's going to be with a bazooka or something. I don't know. My son's on the gun. So he's got a little mini part of that story.
That's cool.
Can we talk about your colors here, though? That guy's intense. Look, he wants to fight. Like, why is he mad, bro? Like, he is
Yeah,
pissed.
super serious.
He is not. He takes color. He's like, I'll color your face.
David, he's got tons of tattoos. I'm kind of scared of him.
Oh,
He's
look,
a-
you got
he's
another.
intense
You
too.
got another pledge right there too. Look at that.
Oh, nice.
Moving right
Appreciate
along. All right, we got you there. And Brett, I'll let you pitch one more time. Since even though you're late, trying to get you one. He was at 33. If we can get him one, that would be great. Tell us about this detective and his potatoes.
Yeah. So Detective Mickey Potatoes is a pigeon detective in the world of the Dust Bunny Mafia, and he's trying to help save the Leo's one of his best friends and right hand Dust Bunny before everything goes to crap, pretty much. And so his father is the police commissioner, and he can't live up to his standards, and he's trying to find out how to walk the fine line of being a good cop, but sometimes the crime and the different elements of, there are other more profitable ways to make a living.
For sure. All right. We're going to share this out. I mean, if you're a coffee lover, it's going to be great. By the way, little spoiler, if you come see me at Baltimore, I may have some coffee. You'll have to see what I have. I've got we've got some special stuff coming out.
It's not Dunkin' Donuts.
That is not.
Not what you mean? Oh, okay.
I mean, I will be.
I feel like I have to clarify that.
Yeah, that's right. Travis drinking Dunkin'. That's not very impressive. That's.
I mean, I know you like it, but
I understand. But no, I may have some other type of for sale. My wife's been working on a little side project that's going to be interesting that we're going to unleash at Baltimore.
Sweet.
All right. So before we kick you guys off, I got to tell you about a project that I do. So every year since 2018, I think, maybe 2020, I put together the book, this thing called Indietober. So what Indietober is, it's a group on Facebook that you're more than welcome to join, and we're going to draw some of the coolest indie characters out there. So we've got some really cool characters in it. We've got a great class of 2024. Every year people are upset because they didn't make the list. These are all handpicked by me, so if you want to get mad at somebody, bring it to me. I did it. I chose not to pick you. So I mean, it is what it is. I just didn't.
There you go.
It is. I didn't pick you. Most of the time, the way I pick, just for real references, can't be in it the year before. You have to have done something relevant last year. Like you can't have been disappeared for it. Or I like you. Those are the three things. So, but however, in the past, I have put people I didn't like on it just to see what they do. I'm that kind of guy. If you didn't know, if people weren't. But I have a couple of our guys who are here on the show. Brett's been on it before. Patrick, we've been on it. Grand Theft Punk was on it once.
Well, Wild Wisps is on there, which I just did.
Oh yeah, it's true.
I did a B story for. So technically, there's 2 appearances.
Let me see if I can make it big. Make this big. Is that showing up? Big? Yeah, there we go. So yeah, a couple people. We've got so Patrick, you got Wild Wisps on there. We've got Tart, Oxymoron. Those are 2 big hitting Kickstarters. Wild Wisps is on there, which, as you said, it's Pat Chan's book. We've got Mary Shelley's School of Monsters. If you don't know Jessica great. Mandrill PJ. We got It's Fun to Kill People. We got one of Stokes' books there, one of his solo books there. We got Critter from Tom Hutchinson. We got Immortal Coals. We got, I have no idea how to say that, Samurai. It's a bug samurai. It's like a cool, praying mantis. I don't know how to say that word. Force in Hell, which is Alan makes some of the best books in comics. I love Alan. I love his book. It's great. Prince Break from Frank Martin. Spill Blood from John and Hendrick, Astonishing Tales, Scarlet, and Stokes has got 2 on this list. He's got American Yakuza as well. We really put that up there for Charlie, but Stokes has got it twice.
Hell
We got Manchild, we got Quests, we've got Shielded and Sober, Dryan's Grit, Fog Within, we've got Sean's book,
Appreciate
we've
it.
got Noir, which is Devin's book, we've got Kid Cretaceous, Deadly Trails, which is a book from Black Box, we've got Sharon 13, we got Work at Night, which is Daniel's book, we've got Grandma Tilly's Hell Tech Mech, if you haven't read that, it's great, by Dakota Brown, Path of the Pale Rider from Lori, The Cardinal, Grave Sitter by Brian Wolf, and last but not least, 7 Years of Darkness. And what makes 7 Years of Darkness cool is, if you don't know Joseph Smelke, he is fire. Anytime he goes to a con, anytime he sells a cover, he sells out. Very, very big guy that you may not know about, which I think is really cool. He's more in the New England area, so if you're in the Northeast, you know about him. If you're not in the Northeast, probably don't know about him. But successfully created a line, and Scout Comics really blew it up, was Black Caravan. Also really blew up in CEX. He's now has his own publishing company, and he has a contest. If you're an artist and you draw a cover there, he's going to use it as B cover. He's going to as competition. So if you have some time and you want to get some of his exposure, and his characters are cool. They're like hooded cloak people. You'll love it. Patrick, right up your alley. So if you're looking to like level up and you want to get a cover gig stuff, actually that's one of the coolest things about Indietober. Every year people get coverage.
That's cool.
People see what's drawn and been like, hey man, can I use that as a cover? A lot of times it's free, or you get it for a discount or give them comps. So it's really cool. So try to be on the list, try to be active. Even if you're not an artist, try to draw. I know Brett's drawn some in the past, and just try to be part of it and be part of the community. It's something fun we do. It's not anything serious, but we try to make it interesting every year. Any questions, concerns about that, gentlemen?
No, it was cool.
Sounds good. Yeah, it looks very cool.
I'm just excited to be on it.
Happy to have you on it. But yeah, the only thing you need to do is if you're on it, try to join the group and share out some pictures from your comic so people know it.
Yeah.
That's it. So, all right. That's it. All right. I think we are done for the evening, ladies and gentlemen. Does anybody have any grievances, any concerns, any blasphemies? I want to make sure there's no drama before we leave. Everybody's good?
Everybody's good.
I'm chilling.
All right. That's a little disappointing. I was hoping we'd have some drama, but that's fine. You guys want to just leave it as that? That's
better
fine.
luck next time. Yeah.
All right. Whatever. All right. Patrick, where can people find you?
On Facebook, Instagram is Patrick BUER Art, and then on Twitter, I think it's Polywag80. Or on X, sorry, not to besmirch Elon Musk's good name here. And on Kickstarter with Maggie Thorne.
Yeah. Stokes, where can people find you?
At Stokes the Rider on Twitter. Decay Comic on Instagram as well.
Brett, where can people find you?
Dust Bunny Mafia. You can, or Detective Potatoes. Detective Potatoes on Kickstarter, Dust Bunny Mafia everywhere else. Instagram, X, Facebook, comics.dustbunnymafia.com.
All right. Sean, where can people find you?
So, of course, The Fog Within 1 through 3 on Kickstarters until September 20th, next Friday, 9 p.m. And Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, even TikTok. It'll be Sean Wood _writer.
All right. Sounds good. Sorry, I got a random message there. All Sean. John, I got ADD. What do you want from me?
Roll with it. It's all good. No, I'm trying to figure out. Brett, is that a crocheted version of Detective Potatoes? I'm trying to figure out what that is.
Yes.
I'm just like, is that
That's
a
exactly
crocheted
what it
version?
is.
That's absolutely amazing. Absolutely fantastic. That's hilarious.
I was trying to get an actual stuffed animal created.
Yeah.
But like I've got some different characters as actual stuffed animals, but my artist who was doing that didn't want to return for this Kickstarter, so I'm in search of a new plushie maker.
The crochet is nice. Yeah.
No, the crochet is money. That's absolutely awesome, and it's at TCal Rights on all the social medias, and obviously the Kickstarter as well. But yeah, I had to ask about that. So
yeah,
really
but now
cool.
I've got to start drama. I've got to start drama.
Why you start drama?
I gotta. What do you hate more? I just gotta know this question. Do you hate plushies more than pops?
Listen, pops are the most useless thing ever, bro. Like, it has any utility, it's better than a Pop Funko, though.
All right.
Yeah. But I feel like the plushies and the crochet again, like going towards your audience for your book, though. I think that's on point. We've done something similar, so I think it's really cool.
Plushies make money. They stress me out, but people buy those stupid things. I don't know why.
Well, I mean, you got your kid going. I mean, you're going to tell them no. You know what I mean? Like you got no, or get them the yes, and be like, okay, don't ask for anything else. Like fill their hands up real quick, and then hopefully they can't carry anything else.
I mean, my daughter's got a bunch of Squishmallows. Like I think it's 120. I don't understand.
The whole bed's covered though, right? Like I mean,
it's ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
What are we? They're just gonna be. They're not even going to go to a yard sale because I'm just going to drop them off at Goodwill one day.
Bro, we literally bought like the furniture that you can like stuff them in a bag and turn it into like a bean bag in her room. So she has like two like that look like chairs that are just full of like stuffies in there. So.
It's the future of the Dust Buddy Mafia, right?
That's it, right there.
All right. Well, I'm Travis Gibb. If you're watching this, you probably found me because you know me. But if you don't, Travis Gibb at substack.com is where you can find me the most. That's where I do most of my updates. That's where I'll tell you what's going on, what's hot. I will be in Indietober a lot. I'll be back in a couple of weeks. In fact, I'm going to invite you, Todd, separately because we'll be talking about what's a diamond. So I'm going to get all my diamond friends who are in diamond to promote the stuff. So I'll do that when I get back from Baltimore. Anybody who's coming out to Baltimore, come see me. Come see Stokes. Brett, you going to be up in Baltimore?
Nope.
Do you know where Baltimore is?
Of course I know where it is, but I'm not going to be there.
Now, are you afraid to leave Chicago for like reasons?
No, I'm going to Vegas next week, so no.
I mean, it's basically Chicago light, right? Or vice versa.
Just heading west. That's chill. Yeah, you got to keep coming west. It's better over here.
All right. I'm going to play the outro. We're done for this evening. Peace, all.
Thanks, Travis. Thanks, everybody.